This video we're going to go over the UI settings. The UI settings are actually very important because they determine the other settings that we can use throughout the theme. So for example, as you probably already have seen in the past videos, a lot of settings let us adjust the font size. However, you do not just type in the font size, you pick a font size from all of these settings here. So for example, let's go back a little. Let's focus on this text down here. If I go to Elements and Body Text, you can see here under font size, I can pick between these categories. So for example, I can make my default body size a bit larger or smaller, or just have this base picked here. However, if you want to actually adjust the actual size of the base font size category, this is what you can do under UI settings, font size. So in here we could say, okay, the base font size, whenever this is picked anywhere in the customizer, instead of 1 rem, we want this to be 1.1. And then it's much larger. And you can do that for all of these. This is actually, for us, this was a better way to set up this customizer. Because this way, you can pick all your settings throughout the customizer. But then if you at a later point decide you want to make the smaller text a tiny bit bigger, or the normal text, a tiny bit smaller, you can do that all here, and it gets applied to everywhere where you picked this font size category. So let's go back. We have the same thing for line height. So again, here for the body text, by default this is set to relaxed. So if we just take a look under body text here, right, this is set to relaxed, and throughout the customizer you can set line height for many components, many elements. So however, if this relaxed line height category is not wide enough for you, you can always go into the UI settings under line height and just say, okay, whenever relaxed is picked, instead of 1.6 distance, I want a 1.7. And then now it got a little bit bigger. If I would set this to 2, you can see exactly what I mean. Now everywhere where we have the relaxed line height applied, it would get much bigger now. Of course, this is ugly, so we'll set this back. Maybe we'll set this to 1.75. Yeah, this looks pretty good in my opinion. Okay. Going back, one of the most important settings, of course, the colors. So this is exactly set up like the other ones, like the font sizes or the line heights. You can here adjust your color palette, and then pick one of these options, throughout the customizer. And if you ever change your mind, how your primary 500 tone should look like, this is where you adjust it, and you don't have to go back through each and every customizer section and update your color. You just do it in a centralized way here in the color settings, and everything would update. So usually what I would recommend, since this theme uses Tailwind, and I'll probably update this description up here to include a link, what I usually do is I look for Tailwind color palette, and let's see here, tailwindshades.com. This is a very good website. So let's go back here, and let's say we let's say we didn't want our primary color to be blue. Maybe we want it to be sort of greenish tone, maybe sort of like this maybe. However, now we run into the problem that we of course want different shades of this in case someone hovers over a button and we want the button to get darkened a little bit or maybe brightened a little bit. Of course, we want the shades to be in line with you know, this kind of green here. We want the lower numbers to be brighter and the higher numbers to be darker. We can just go in here, we just pick a single color that we like and just throw this right here on this website, click on this button, and it would output these 9 different shades for us. And then we could just copy them over. You know, the 50 would go right here in the primary 50, the 100, primary 100, etc., etc. And then we can do the same thing for the secondary colors here. And you know, this is how I usually pick my color palette, by just selecting one color that I like and then generating these different shades. However, for now, I'm going to set this back to default. Okay. Yeah, and that was already it for the UI settings. Yeah, like I said, these are settings that are used throughout the customizer that can be picked and then can be adjusted right here in the UI settings customizer section.